All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks very much for your patience. I do have a few things to read out at the top. The Department of Defense is announcing today that the United States will soon begin training Ukrainians to fly and maintain F-16 fighter aircraft in support of the international effort to develop and strengthen Ukraine's long-term defenses. Following English language training for pilots in September, F-16 flying training is expected to begin in October at Morris Air National Guard Base in Tucson, Arizona, facilitated by the Air National Guard's 162nd Wing. Although we do not have specific numbers to share at this time in regards to how many Ukrainians will participate in this training, we do anticipate it will include several pilots and dozens of maintainers. Importantly, although some Ukrainian pilots have English language skills, we are anticipating that all of the pilots coming to the United States will require some level of additional English language instruction, given the complexities and the specialized English that's required to fly these aircraft. Therefore, as mentioned, these pilots will also be conducting English language training at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, in September, prior to attending F-16 flying training in Arizona. The training provided by the United States will complement the F-16 pilot and maintenance training that's already underway in Europe and further deepens our support for the F-16 training coalition led by Denmark and the Netherlands.
Hey, sir. You mentioned the persistent threat by Wagner as a transnational criminal organization. Does the department assess that there's a sort of a heightened...
We know that as the Danes and the Dutch prepare to train those pilots, that at a certain point in time in the future, capacity will be reached. So preemptively acknowledging that and leaning forward in order to assist with this effort is the impetus for why we're doing this now.
Regarding to the F-16, so my question is, does Ukraine has like the...
Your basic new F-16 pilot with not a lot of training on the U.S. side, that training typically lasts about 8 months. For a pilot that's experienced, that you're doing upgrade training, for example, that can range within the 5-month range. So a lot is going to depend on those individual pilots and the assessment in terms of where they're at in that process.
Thank you. On the plane that was carrying Prigozhin that went down in Russia, was it a bomb that took the plane down?
Obviously, we're going to work as fast as we can, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to rush a pilot and train him in a high-performance combat aircraft and then put him in harm's way, not fully prepared. So a lot of this will depend on the pilots, where they're at and experience, the training, and making sure that, again, that we're providing the right pilots with the right aircraft at the right time to be able to be effective at the end of the day in combat.